All right, guys. Happy Wednesday, September 13th. After hours, we just got the news that the 40 million share offering from AMC is complete. This is what I have been waiting for because there's not a lot to talk about until that was done, and now we got that done. So I'm here to hear what you guys think about that, what your expectations are for tomorrow. We've got some folks from the Discord in. Let me make sure I have desktop audio on. Richie or Anya, can one of y'all say hi? Make sure the folks can hear you.
Did you hear me?
Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you can hear them.
Hold on, Tony.
How you doing, Max?
Hey guys.
What's up, Tony?
How you doing, Mediocre? Tyler, what's going on? I'm gonna smoke a cigar. All right, MotoGP says thumbs up so they can hear you. Watch your mouths, ladies and gentlemen in the Discord. You are live on YouTube. All right, so I just got back from having a margarita with the wife, and here it is. I was looking for my clippers for the cigar, and yeah, fortuitous timing. Right after that, I hop back on the computer and I see the announcement that it's done, and many of us, not just me, were expecting that it was going to be done this week based on the price action settling out around $7-8 and going up for the last couple of days. I've been telling the folks in the Discord that the fact that the price is not being knocked down indicated to me that they were likely done with the artificial selling pressure, and we're seeing more normal buying pressure, and that's why the price was going up. At least that was my thought anyways. So I was expecting that we were going to get news this week. There were plenty of other people that disagreed with me, saying that he was going to wait until closer to the Q3 earnings announcement, but I'm glad we didn't have to wait. Brav's Car, what's up? Tyler, Tally Foreman, Mizzy, whoa, what is going on? So Maximus says, does this mean the moon or just high moon? That is really the question, right? And I want to hear from you guys in the chat. Let me know in the comments right now what you think is going to happen in the morning. Do you think we'll have upward momentum? Will there be a gap up when the market opens? And what price target do you have in mind that you realistically think that it could go to if it's going to go up, which I anticipate, if the dilution's done, that there could be, some upward price momentum. Now, I'm not going to get all crazy on you and give you any price targets because I try not to do that. But I do have my own ideas. I might share an idea with you. Mediocre says $10 or so. Keith says 15. Season Curly's $10. Meredith 12 to 13. Jojo says momentum up, but then we'll get crushed right back down. I did notice that the short interest on Ortex has been climbing. For me to talk about something as a short squeeze candidate, I need to see reported short interest over 20%. So AMC's been kind of boring the last couple weeks, but I noticed today it was over 17%. So it is ticking back up. Cameron says, wouldn't it gap down because of the final issuance of shares? My experience, Cameron, is that typically when they announce dilution, you get the whack down, and then you get that kind of sigh of relief when the dilution's done, and then you get back into more normal trading. Now, is that a guarantee that the price will go up tomorrow? No, there's no guarantees in this stock. It's just been kind of our expectation that it has a chance to more freely go up tomorrow. What do you guys think in the Discord? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Don't be shy.
Here.
I believe it goes up, Tony.
Mediocre thinks it goes up.
I feel it's going to go up, but how high, I couldn't tell you. I'm under 20.
We don't have the selling pressure from the dilution no more. So that's less downward pressure. So if the buying pressure stays up, it should climb. Just logic, you know. We got short interest around 17%. Not saying that they won't try to keep shorting us. I mean, why wouldn't they?
325 million bucks. I guess, you know, they've got to do the calculus on does that meaningfully change the fundamentals of AMC. 325. For me, that's kind of a small amount. Who was that? Mizzy Woe says he already did it on the 6th. I don't think, you know, I saw the article and I saw people posting it, the article that said back on September 6th that he did the dilution at $11. I've been trying to keep my mouth shut about all the clickbait out there. Clearly that was not correct information. Mr. Bernard Zamboni, or whatever the heck his name is always putting out FUD articles. I honestly think he's some basement dweller off of Reddit that submits articles to Investor Place or wherever that outlet was that said Adam Aaron diluted already at 11.35. The average price they sold for was in the press release. It was just over $8, and they just completed it probably in the last day or so. Adam says, am I in favor of computer share? If you'd like to do computer share, you know, you have my approval. Fly Freeze says, I'm definitely buying more pre-market. Cameron says, I know he did it on the 6th. Let's see what the price was on the 6th. It was trading between 847 and 1162. So it would be impossible that he did it on the 6th because the average price that they sold for was below the low of the day. He might have started on the 6th, but I don't think it was done on the 6th. Mizzy says, this is one of many dilutions to come. That is one important thing I want to cover with you guys today. And I know this is not going to be a popular statement, but I already posted it on my community tab. So it is what it is. I think that you should be preparing yourself mentally that there will be more dilutions to come, right? Because as I'm looking at 325 million, depending on how the next couple quarters go, if they're positive, well, then 325 will last a while. If they have a bad quarter, like I'm worried that Q4 is going to be bad. Even though we got Taylor, we got all the movies being pushed out, not a lot of great movies in Q4. If the company loses money in Q4, then that's gonna burn cash. So it's too early to say how Q4 is going to be, but I do have concerns, and we need some resolution on the actors and writers strike. So right now, I think it would be prudent to be expecting future dilution. I don't know when. We're going to have to see how the next couple quarters go. Benjamin Israel, good evening to you. BRO's Trades, tweet from Adam Aaron that the dilution of 40 million is done. 325 million raised, and we will have to wait and see if there's more info. Any of you guys on the Discord have thoughts on what he's going to do with that 325? Is he just going to bank it as cash to weather the storm of the next couple quarters, or you think he's going to try and pay off some of the near-term debt? There's a small amount of debt coming up. $3 billion in 2026, though.
Oh, that's a long ways out. I'd sit on the cash for a little bit.
DJ says, after all this ends, what is AMC stock really worth? You probably don't want to hear my answer on that, DJ. A lot is going to depend on what happens in the next 4 quarters. Can the company show consistent profits, or are they still going to lose money? We've got book value, and then we've got another way we could value the company based on future earnings, and those are going to yield very different numbers as far as the share price. I'll give you a hint. If you want to see the book value, go to the latest prospectus from September 6th. Go to page S15 and read the paragraph there. You're probably going to cry. But I'm not focusing on book value right now to justify the current price. I'm looking more at a multiple off of a very, what's the word I'm looking for? A very optimistic future earnings. I mean, we gotta jump through hoops to justify the price. Season Curly says, why not sit on the money and keep the company bankrupt proof? That's what I would do, Mr. Curly. Tanton says he's going to give out bonuses. Oh, Lordy. Here we go. Cameron says, anybody as big as Swift that would generate as much cash flow for in-house concerts like she did. I saw some other people had other ideas on Twitter. It'd be great if he could ink some more deals like that.
Yeah, the money he got from this dilution is not even enough to cover his new chairs. He's going to have to sit on this money for a little bit.
If they had 2 bad quarters like we did in the last 2 years, that would cover 2 quarters. But I think, we're seeing evidence that we're getting away from quarters that were that bad. So I can't predict the future. We have concerns with the actors writer strike and the COVID-24 that we'd like to see those concerns resolved or wiped away and just continue on the path that they've been on. But so we'll have to see. It's too early to say. I think that if I was him, I'd just sit on the cash. VRO says, do the executives still get shares for payment? They have a base salary, and they have a compensation plan that is approved a year or 2 in advance based on what are they? Is it it's off of EBITDA, I think, or adjusted EBITDA. They have targets, and depending on where they come in against those targets, they get shares as bonuses. And if EBITDA is improving, then theoretically the company is improving also. So that is a way to align executives with the growth of the company in the right direction, getting it profitable. Bamafu, what's up? Did I say that right? Bama, WFU. VRO's trade says, are you still holding AMC? All right, let's go through the recap, because it's been about a month since I've talked to you guys, maybe more. As we said, the whole beginning of this year, I have said to you guys many times, every live stream, I had a 99% certainty that the settlement would be approved, that the vote would be approved, and then we got the lawsuit. Then I said the settlement will be approved, because even though a lot of people morally were against everything that happened, and I get that, I didn't see any evidence that laws were broken. And you can agree or disagree, but the judge agreed with that. Was it slimy for some people? Yeah, maybe. I get that. But I was just commenting on the law, the legality. All the filings were there. Everything was in accordance by my read of it with the law. So I was 99% sure that the settlement would go through, which meant that arbitrage would happen, which means AMC price would go down and APE would go up, and they'd meet somewhere in the middle. That was kind of like the whole thesis of this year, right? For the last 8 months. As the discovery came out and we were looking at all of the paperwork, we had kind of like a aha moment that it was where we started putting math to it, that holding AMC, if all of that happened, even if the price didn't go down like it did after the judge issued her opinion, that holding AMC through the conversion was likely to be not the best outcome. Now, I don't want to go through all that math again, but long story short, I think it was around May 5th or 6th, I sold my AMC shares and moved all that money into APE to avoid what I thought was going to happen, which why didn't I talk about it in May? Because I don't want to be influencing people. I told you what I thought was going to happen. It's up to you to decide what you want to do. And even if I said I was doing that, most of you wouldn't care anyways. You're going to listen to other people and do what you want. But I wanted to avoid the downward arbitrage price action on AMC and enjoy the upward momentum on APE. Yes, I sold that AMC at a loss because I had bought it higher than $6. But it was the point of avoiding getting wiped out even more and being able to recover some of that with APE. So that's what I did back in May, and then I sold all of the APE in the run-up when the judge announced her opinion. And then I was out. I was out of the play for a week. Started buying back in a week or two ago, around $10. Sold that at $13.60 or so. What day was that? That was on September 5th. That was just lucky timing. I had been buying for a few days, made about 30% on those few days. And I did not know that it was going to drop the next day. I just woke up and like, holy shit, lucky that I sold. And then I started buying back in this week, late last week. And my cost average is around $8. So I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot. I have some as low as $7.18, some a little bit higher than $8. I have some calls for December with an $8 strike. And the shares that I own, I sold calls on those for October to generate some immediate income. You know, you sell calls, you immediately pocket income. And I have a $15 strike on those. So my expectation was it would not go over $15 by middle of October. And then I get to keep that option premium from selling the calls. If it goes over 15, I will let the shares be exercised and taken away from me. I will essentially double my money on the shares, plus I get to keep the option premium. And I still have the calls that I bought with an $8 strike. So I kind of have all the bases covered, unless the price tanks. If the price tanks, then I'll have to decide if I'm going to hold through that or dump the shares. I don't know. Hopefully that all makes sense. Anyways, it's a little bit of the wheel strategy. I like AMC at this price. I mean, let's face it, it's 70, 80 cents pre-reverse split. What else can I say? Mediocre, Max, you guys got any thoughts? Rolf?
I'm just hanging in there, man. I got my shares. I'm good to go, baby. I'm locked in, Tony.
I'll tell you, you know, a lot of the people in the Discord have been doing the same thing, you know, snapping shares up. Someone, guys, someone needed to buy that damn dilution. We've been buying it. We've been buying it. Yeah, we cashed out a couple weeks ago, but that was for a purpose. It was, we did not know that the price was going to tank to the extent that it did when dilution was announced. In fact, the price started tanking before the conversion, right? Price started tanking before anything happened. Like, I was just sitting there like, we retail have no fucking power in this market. If before the reverse split and before the conversion, they were already tanking the price, that was way beyond what I expected. And then the second week, they did it again.
Yeah, it was ridiculous what they did.
Even up
till today, it was still under $8.
In my worst scenario, and you can go back a couple weeks in the Discord, maybe a month, I was telling them in the worst case scenario, I could see this dropping to $15. Yeah. That was a potential and part of the reason I sold. I had no idea if it was going to drop or not. There's, for every one me that's kind of like cautious, there were other people saying it's going to run up in dilution, but I was not going to sit around and wait and find out. I could always rebuy if I was wrong.
At a $12 average, dude. I thought I was doing.
I'm talking about before the reverse split and conversion, right? Where we all got out.
Oh.
I didn't want to sit around and take the chance on dilution. If it ran up, I could always rebuy, right? That's no problem. But if it ran down, I would kick myself for not having cash ready to buy at the bottom. So that was the intent. That was the intent.
No dry powder, no gain.
Right.
I had lots of dry powder. That's what I can tell you.
Yeah, I'm not. I've already seen people complaining about the price. I mean, it was $8. You could say, yeah, but that was 80 cents pre-split. Okay, yeah, you're not incorrect, but he didn't get 80 cents. He got $8. So I don't want to hear that argument on my channel. You can take that somewhere else where they want to have alternate facts. The fact is he sold it for $8. That is the fact. 40 million shares for $325 million bucks. Adam Aaron does not set the market price, although we have been theorizing that the price got walked down to a point where institutions would be willing to buy it relatively risk-free. Was it institutions that bought at this price level, or was it retail, or was it a mix? I don't know if we'll ever know. But if you're an institution and you're going to be buying, you want a relatively risk-free price. So did they short it down? Institutions, did they short it down to a point where they're like, all right, we'll buy here? I don't know. But that would be my leading theory, what happened. And I wanted to get in at the point where they stopped pushing it down. And then my hope is that now that they're done, they allow it to run up. But I don't know. I don't know.
I wish I did the same, Tony, but I did not.
What happened? You jumped in too soon?
No, I just didn't expect the price to fall the way that it did. You know, I figured we would get a slight push down, but I was very comfortable in my position. You know, it made it a little rough. I averaged down, of course. You know, I threw more money at it, but still, you know what I mean? More money than I wanted to throw at it.
Yeah. NAMAC says, I'm assuming we'll be doing this shit again next spring or summer. Possibly. In my mind, I'm thinking the dilution's not done. You guys can think whatever you want. But you know that I'm very focused on the balance sheet and the financial ratios of this company. I'm very optimistic, and I want them to survive, but they need to fix the balance sheet for that to happen, or they need to get rid of a lot of cost, or they need to dramatically increase income, or all three. So I would tell you, if you want my guess, I would agree with you if you're in the comments saying there will be more dilution coming. I agree with that.
All I gotta say is it's up to each person to protect their portfolio. How would they choose to do so?
Yeah, I know a lot of the choices that we made were not popular, but they were all in alignment with the DD that I've been putting out over the last, pretty much all of 2023. And I said quite a few times, if you go back and play back some of those live streams, that and I said it very slowly, you need to be very aware of the potential risk of dilution having a negative impact on price. Now, again, I can't sit here and say, sell all your shares because you're going to get wrecked. Because what if I'm wrong? What if I was wrong? I would feel horrible. But I did say you should be thinking about that. I thought about it.
You said that a lot of times. I've heard a lot of your lives.
I said it a lot of times, but I can't tell people what to do because I would feel horrible if I was wrong and someone traded and missed a run up. But when I'm saying that very slowly to you, it's because I'm probably planning on, paying attention to what I'm saying. Whatever you do doesn't matter to me. If I say it really slowly like that, that's your little hint that Tony's going to be paying attention to the potential risk of negative price momentum from dilution. The company had to do it. They didn't have an option. You could either choose to sit through it or step out for a couple weeks like I did. And that choice is yours. It doesn't matter to me.
Tony, how much information do we go over all the time?
We go over the same shit every live stream. I feel like.
I mean, behind the scenes, how much DD?
Oh, I mean, we're doing theorizing, DD, filing, reading on AMC 12 hours a day between, the ongoing conversation, everybody contributing. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, no, it is.
And that's still every day.
Tony, I'm a witness to that because you guys do. You guys put a lot of time and a lot of reading of different stuff that I never even heard of.
Every day. I have more stuff that I haven't even shared with you guys yet that I'm working on. Some very niche accounting concern that I have that I don't even want to talk about today because it's not immediate concern today, but it might be. And if it is, I'll come on and share it with you. But just because I haven't been talking about AMC on YouTube doesn't mean that we haven't been working on it nonstop for the last 30 days. Or making money on it, for that matter.
Yeah, some people did really well.
Some people did really well. Some got a little bit over their skis. That's in even in our Discord, like the people we talk to. Everybody makes their own decision. So
that is true, right? You ultimately got to be the one to pull the trigger on your own position. No matter what it is, you got to make the choices. You get the information, how you choose to take the information, how you choose to take the information, right? So some people took the information differently than others.
VRO says, we miss your coverage on AMC. Believe me, I miss you guys. It's not that I haven't been working on AMC. I'm just not doing it on YouTube because of, let's just face it. When you're talking fundamentals and financials, it's not the most popular subject. And when I tell people, that I think the settlement is going to be approved, because in my opinion, my reading of the filings, there were no laws broken. Look, I'm here sharing my opinion. And everything that we said would happen, happened. And I have to deal with daily death threats for being correct on shit. That's just ridiculous. But that is the YouTube community out there. And then, without bothering to ask me why I sold or if I was planning on buying back in, the overwhelming response was, stop talking about AMC if you sold. Fine. I'm not here to be a YouTuber. I'm here to share information so that you have someone relatively grounded without going into the overboard hopium or the hate. I'm blocked by more hopium pushers than I am by haters, to be honest. I'm blocked by Sojka. I'm blocked by KC Shaw. I'm blocked by Travis. I mean, the list of people pumping AMC that have blocked me for being fact-based is very long. And, some of the haters have blocked me too. But I try and be very middle ground to share just middle ground, non-emotional opinion with you.
I'll say this, Tony, right? I don't say a lot. I try not to, because I don't want to influence people, number one. Okay? Period. Point blank. What I do with my positions, my business. What you do with your position is your business. And when others get involved in that, I have a problem with it. That's ultimately what goes on, right? Like all these people who get mad about what you do with your position, it's really none of their fucking business. I'm just going to be blunt. I'm sorry.
Manny says you were calling people paper-handed bitches and then became one. Yeah. What I said in 2021 versus where we're at in 2023 is very different. All right. Can we all agree on that? We were all excited about this play, maybe overly so, in 2021. And then you saw the direction of this channel, the coverage of this stock change over the last 18 months to one more of explaining the financials, the fundamentals, the filings to you. Because let's be honest, I mean, in a market where interest rates are going up and equities were under pressure, the play changed. And I started using #evolve because we all needed to evolve in our thinking, our analysis of this play. So I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings, Manny, or whoever you're masquerading as, for calling you a paper hand bitch. But 2021 and 2023, different things. I did not, my intent was to step out of the way of dilution. We didn't have to deal with that in 2021. We knew it was coming now, right?
I just went through dilution with you guys. I'm in it. I went through it. So I got diluted with all of you.
You went through it? I thought you were out.
No, this most recent dilution, the 40 million. No, yeah, I went through that.
Oh, that was the day that I sold at 1365 and you were still holding the next morning, right?
I held it, yeah. But I bought the dip. So, but I was doing other things. I was working my strategy, and then that's what I'm going to continue to do. That is what it is. I might get pushed out of this thing tomorrow morning. Who knows?
Someone's asking, what is the debt for 2023? Let me pull up the latest filing and review the debt, because I forget off the top of my head.
I sold $12 calls for Friday, Tony.
Yeah, so did I.
You sold $12 calls. For this Friday?
For this Friday.
I sold $15 calls.
What's up, Cheese Mo?
But not till December.
I did it last Friday.
We're not, brother.
And I sold with Tony last week, and then the next day was dilution, and then I bought back in too early.
All right. Debt for 2023, the amount due is $10 million, and for 2024 it's $25 million, and for 2025 it's $118 million. So that's roughly $160 million. If I was Adam Aaron, I'd at least pay off the 2023 and 2024, $35 million.
It's a small price. That's nothing.
Yeah. But 2026 is the one he needs to worry about. $3 billion.
So he needs to hold on to that cash and get some more and get a pump and do another dilution.
What's up, OTF? He says things change and people act like everything is the same. I know. If you guys have watched this channel, you've seen over the last 18 months a very big shift in how we cover this stock compared to how we covered it in 2021. If you can't read a play and be willing to change with it, you're going to get wrecked. Doesn't mean that I'm not hopeful that AMC survives. It doesn't mean that I think the management is doing what they need to do to not go bankrupt. Like, I don't hate the management. I think they had to do what they had to do. I know a lot of people don't agree, and we can just agree to disagree on that. I don't want to argue over it. That's just my opinion, because I'm approaching it from a balance sheet perspective, and you aren't. If you disagree with me, and that's cool. We all have different ways of analyzing stuff. I think they had to do what they had to do, and it was going to be painful if you held through it. But
Tony, what's the short interest today?
17 and change, 17%.
What was it 5 days ago?
It was like 12%.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's been going up. So Bill A says, what is my guess as to where the price goes from here? I'm hoping, Bill A, that it goes up, right? Every position that I'm holding right now, as far as my call options and my shares, is set up for, again, if you just tuned in, I have call options with the $8 strike for December that I bought. And I have shares that I've been buying with around a cost average of $8. So I've been buying with the hope that we'd get a dilution over announcement and a push up. How high of a push up, I don't know. But I will also say that on the shares that I own, I sold calls with a $15 strike. So if that kind of tells you anything, If you can read between the lines on that, that means I don't think the price will go over $15. If it does, my shares will get exercised away from me for $15, which is fine because I paid $8 for them. I'd be doubling my money in a week. I'm good with that. And if it keeps running past 15, I have call options that I bought when the price was in the low $7 that don't expire till December. So if it runs to 40, I just let those call options ride.
Nice strategy, Tony.
Chris says $8. That's a lie. I don't know if he's joking or if he's hacked into my trading account. What do you mean? What do you mean, Chris? Give us your theory, Chris. Mediocre, have we been talking about the trades we've been doing every fucking day?
I mean, he
says he's joking. Okay. Whew. I thought we were going to have to boot you, Chris. My trigger is really, it's a hair trigger, Chris.
Tony's got a hair trigger right now, man.
No, we talk about this stuff all day, every day, most days. You know, I mean, we're looking at all kinds of plays. We're not only looking at AMC no more, right? Like, yeah, AMC is a good stock. We know a lot about this stock. It makes it easier to trade the stock. You know what you're getting into, but we do plays on other plays all the time.
Owen in the Float says, what are my thoughts about FTDs and threshold lists? There's a reason why I don't talk or tweet about them. Maybe I did in 2021, but I tell you, I've had 2.5 years now of watching all these retail communities, including AMC, get excited about the threshold list and FTDs, and it never mean jack shit. So if I ever talked about it in a way, maybe I put a tweet out, you know, people are having to go way back. Oh, look, he used the word MOAS in February of 2022. Yeah, come on, guys. We've been saying here for a long time, we don't like the word MOAS. You're going to have to go back a long way to find some shit like I was talking good about threshold list or FTDs. Is it out there? Maybe. I don't go back and delete stuff. But for the longest time, I have been telling people bluntly, it is all meaningless bullshit to pin your hopes on FTDs or threshold list. I've said that it is an interesting data point indicating that they're not clearing shares that they're obligated to clear or not delivering them, but I don't count on it to mean to be meaningful and to not pin your hopes on that. And I certainly would not embarrass myself by doing daily countdowns on the threshold list, because I watched the Bed Bath & Beyond people do that all the way into bankruptcy court. What did that get them?
I think that people, Tony, should ask themselves the question, right? It's been roughly 2 years or so, and what has it done since then? Did it make any bit of difference? And look where we are today.
Yep.
And look at how destroyed retail ended up because of the whole situation, right? Like, there's got to become a point when people actually look into what has happened to them and say, did that really matter? There
has to be a point, to expand on what you're saying, where retail looks at all the things that people say are meaningful and make a decision. Did that actually matter? No. OBV, did that actually matter? Fuck no.
Look,
FTDs, threshold lists, it's all clickbait bullshit.
I'm not
You're breaking up. You're breaking up, mediocre. Try again. Can you try again? You were breaking up. Max, did you hear what he said?
No, Tony, you know what that was? That was called a failure to deliver. He failed to deliver
Is
his
that better?
statement.
That's better. Try again, mediocre.
I was just saying, like, I'm a non-confrontational kind of guy. Like, I really don't want the confrontation. My only point though is when you're sitting there and watching your position get destroyed. I don't, I feel bad for everybody who it has happened to, but to see the same thing keep happening, and hear the same thing like failure to deliver us, like has it mattered? Now I'm not saying that the market isn't corrupt, because believe me, I think the market is corrupt. I talk about it all the time, don't I, Tony?
Yeah, absolutely. We all do.
Yes, you do.
My only point though is if you can't beat them, right? How do you expect to change it? I mean, just look at what happened to Bed Bath. I'm only using that one for an example because where is it trading on the OTC market now? I mean, like I don't know what to say.
It's about to stop trading completely.
Right, but the only reason why I brought it up, and I'm not hating on Bed Bath shareholders, right? But my point that I'm trying to make though is if Bed Bath couldn't change the market, and I know we're fighting for market change, right? We're losing the fight, is what I'm saying. At some point,
people are failing to understand that they can't beat the 1% at their game that they created and made it so complicated that the majority of people can't play it correctly because they don't understand it. So, you know what I mean?
And that was a tough come to Jesus moment that we all had to resolve within ourselves, right? Like we, being everybody that's here on the Discord call tonight, many of you that are members of my channel, and not everybody's there, right? Like there's many people that I talked to back in May and shared my thoughts about what I thought was going to happen that said, okay, I hear you. I see the math. I still believe in the squeeze, and I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to just stay with my AMC. That's fine, right? I'm not here to sway anybody, but
that's your choice. I agree.
Yeah.
You do what you want in your position.
But some of us just had to have a self come to Jesus moment that everything that we've been trying, and for me, it was not just with AMC. I watched community after community after community use the same speech, the same slogans, watching the same FTDs. I watched everybody get wiped out, bankrupt, trading for pennies. I'm like, I wasn't in those plays, but I watched all of them closely. And I said, I'm not going to do that to myself with AMC and watch it get obliterated. Like I've got to make the tough call.
I'm going to tell you guys a true story, and Tony knows this to be true because we talked about this. Bed Bath, and Bed Bath people probably going to hate me, whatever. It is what it is. But the bottom line is we knew in advance that bankruptcy was going to happen, most likely, right, Tony?
With Bed Bath, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I purchased put options on Bed Bath, did I not? I 100% bought put options, okay? And I still lost $200. And they ended up going bankrupt. How is that possible? Why? Because the way it's set up. I mean, you can make money with options. Of course you can, right? But you can also lose money. Just because a stock price is moving down and you have a put doesn't necessarily mean you're going to make money. Same thing with call options. It is what it is. Understand what you're playing, right? But that's how the market is rigged.
Yep.
Never for sure thing.
Like I was looking at
what you're trading. I
was looking at Finger today. I was looking at some put options because I think the Finger community is being fed a whole metric ton of horse shit by pumpers, and that it's topping out, and that it's probably within the next several months going to be back in the $2 range. So I was looking at, could I make money buying puts today on Finger? And they're priced right now so high that even if it dropped to $2, the most I could have made was like 20%. So I ended up not doing that, and I don't short stock, so I'm not going to short finger, but it's just like Mediocre's experience with Bed Bath & Beyond. They know how to walk it down slow enough to bleed everybody out and keep you buying, as they walk it down, and let all those.
And it dip, and it keeps dipping, Tony. I buy to the dip, and it keeps dipping.
Yeah, and those put options end up being worthless. So they make money off you two ways.
Hang on, Tony.
I buy the dip, it dip more. I buy again, it dip even more.
Yeah, to do it.
I got to do the part 2 to that one. Where is it?
It's on yours.
Don't make me come visit you, Tony.
I love that part. I mean, just gotta protect your position. That's all I'm telling people. Like, you play your position for yourself. Do what you gotta do. Don't follow trades. Like, I don't like when people follow my trades.
That must be why you don't talk about them on YouTube.
That is exactly why I stopped doing YouTube.
That's why I mostly don't talk about my trades on YouTube either.
That's way like financial advice.
Someone asked if I have seen Dumb Money yet. I have not, but I have my tickets booked. And we've been on a movie frenzy lately. I'm trying to do my part to help the September numbers. But let me see. Let me pull up the app. I have it booked next week on the 21st. In the past few days, I've seen The Nun 2, The Equalizer 3, Strays, and Gran Turismo, Talk to Me, and Oppenheimer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movies in the last 10 days or so. 1, 2, 3, 6 movies. And I still want to see Blue Beetle and Meg 2. Meg 2, I don't really want to see it. But if I can get to the theater while it's still there, I'll watch it. If I don't watch it at AMC, I'm never watching it. I'll tell you that. I'm not going to pay to watch Meg 2 on pay-per-view. Dan says he sold Finger. Lauren says he bought it. Yeah. It's going to be very interesting. Like Finger, I commented on a tweet yesterday, I think, or maybe today. I think there is some potential still for some FOMO upward movement in Finger, but it looks like it's topping out to me. And I certainly don't believe anybody, not one single person, pushing this theory that there's billions or trillions of naked shorts on Finger. It's got like 2% reported short interest. Let me pull it up, see what the latest is. And I know they're looking at daily short volume. Don't believe Ortex, Tony. Don't believe the data. Just believe what we tell you on Twitter. Yeah, I've seen that not really work out. 1.65% short interest on Finger. If you believe that there's a short squeeze on Finger coming, I got a bridge. What's oceanfront property and Arizona. That's it. I've got a bridge to nowhere that I want to sell you.
There's a chance.
So you're telling me there's a chance? I think it's a very slim chance that Finger gets any run up other than FOMO. And at the point where it gets high enough, and the shorts really come in, there's going to be a lot of people that get bent over hard and fast. Let's put it that way. They're going to get bent over so fast, they won't even know what's happening. And it pains me to see people covering finger that walked out of AMC and they think they walked into some miracle play because some Yahoo from New York is lying to them on Twitter about finger, making up his own data. That's my opinion. We'll find out. If I'm wrong, I will come in and say, you know what? The shorts were there all along on finger. But like I said, I do think there is a chance that as long as they keep on roping people in, you could have some FOMO run up. But when they're ready to pull the trigger, it's going to be look out below. When they're ready to pull the trigger and really short it, it's going to be a fast and furious march down.
You know where I seen finger, Tony?
I don't even want to know the punchline to this, but go ahead.
No, I'm being serious.
Okay, what?
On the DT website.
What is the dilution tracker? Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so Finger just filed a S3 for 300 million potential shares, warrants, etc. And I see people making videos heralding this. This is the best dilution ever. The same damn people that hated Adam Aaron for announcing 40 million shares are excited about Finger potentially doubling the float. Like it, I can't in my brain understand how someone could be so against something in AMC, but in Finger, it's like, let's put this on our shoulder and parade it through the town square. 300 million, let's go, Finger. The shorts are scared now. But Adam Aaron, diluting, he's the devil. Like, do you guys even listen to yourselves?
I'm just trying to state the fact that it's on Dilution Tracker because they're going to be diluted.
Stop laughing, Tony. You're killing me.
He's killing me too, dude.
I was doing that little app.
I thought you're killing me too, bro.
Remember that earlier this afternoon I was singing my little song as we paraded through the town square?
Yes.
What is my macro view on the economy? I think we got one more interest rate hike coming, and I think we got a bit more time of inflation to deal with, and I'm just so ready for all of this to be over, but I don't think the pain is finished just yet. I'm doing on my blue chip stocks some selective buying. I've been doing some selective buying as things bottom out over the last month or so, adding to positions or creating new positions, but I'm not going all in because I don't think that we're at the bottom yet, and I do have some downside index positions that I'm holding in case the index is tanked. So that's my insurance policy. Mr. Crazy Coach says Froggy Stonks was telling everyone to get out of AMC, but I wasn't feeling that was something you were believing was true. Was that back in like May, June, July? Yeah, I mean, I listened to some of his live streams, and I think he doesn't like me very much. And we don't often agree. What's his name? Spence? We don't often agree on a lot of things, but I did agree with, his general assessment, and I saw him getting called out for it, and I felt bad for him, but he had some of the right ideas, right? The AMC was going to go down. We agreed there. I never talked to him about it. And he said Ape was the play, and I agreed with that. Where he screwed up was thinking that after the conversion, the ape was going to jump up in price.
I believe that he thought that you were going to be able to add AMC and Ape's price together
Yeah,
to get the new price.
that was an
He
unfortunate.
didn't understand.
I mean, we showed the math of what the price was going to be many, many times for months here. So I did not believe him on that. I did not talk to him on that.
I mean, the John Merriweather email got me too, Tony.
I know. It confused a lot of people.
It out.
I know you thought the same thing he thought like 3 months ago, and you and I talked about it for weeks till I finally convinced you.
Yeah, it was. It took a while for me to understand that the wording was messed up. Even Casey Shaw knew the wording now. You know what I mean? So that, I don't know, it was interesting. Yeah, the John Merriweather email threw a lot of people off. And I think that they got Spence. But Spence's overall assumption of what happened, he was correct.
Yep. And he got a lot of hate for that, which is unfortunate. But I got a lot of hate for my same opinion too. It is what it is.
Yeah, I'm glad he was speaking it. You know, I even sent him a message and told him so. But you know,
VRO's Trade says JP Morgan said they don't see any more interest rate hikes. I saw that headline, didn't read the article. Yeah, Grandpa Barney says he went through the dilution. Yeah, I watched a couple minutes of his live stream the night before the conversion. He went through the conversion. I don't think he went through the dilution, Grandpa. And he should have been out before conversion. Anya says, if I wanted to hold hands, I would have been a Girl Scout leader. Woo, Anya. All right, what other questions y'all got? I don't want to be on here all night because we have to get up early in the morning. Let's get a fresh
be an early morning.
Fresh take from everybody that wasn't here in the beginning. What are your expectations for the rest of this week? Do you think the price is going up, or do you think it's going to hang where it's at? And if you think it's going up, what are you thinking realistically that it could go to? I just kind of want to get a pulse of everybody's thoughts. There's no wrong answers. I'm not going to correct anybody.
Well, I'm hoping that this first run is going to be at least a 15.
We all hope it goes super high and help some of our friends out that are stuck, right? Grandpa.
Yeah, he's going to need a lot more dilution to it to go up to higher than, $20. We can get $20 this first round. That'll be a blessing.
I just want to know what price the MOAS is.
Everybody has a different price for that word, mediocre.
It's not $10,000.
Well, I saw Grandpa put 10,000. When is the next Fed meeting? That's a good question. Let me check.
I mean, I'm rooting for all of you, but man.
September 19th to 20th. Upcoming meeting. That's just right around the corner.
If we get above 15, that would be great. But
so I got the answer for the MOAS, Tony. It's 5K and up. Nope, it's 100K through 500K, apparently.
Broke Ape says, should be explosive when it goes up, judging by the Bollinger Bands. Let's put the chart here and see where we're at.
Grandpa Barney's calling me a downer. I didn't say anything. You put $20 up there, Grandpa Barney. I've seen it.
Yeah, that is spicy, isn't it?
I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut.
It's either to the moon or high noon. I misspelled that last time. My bad. I think we go high noon this first go around.
There are some interesting gaps on there, right? We got this first support level or resistance around 13, 14 bucks. And then the question is, could we return and fulfill this gap at 43 bucks? I don't know. Man, I would love to see that happen. I'm certainly not going to sit here and tell you that that's possible. But I will say that this obliteration that happened right here did not see it coming to this level. I figured there'd be a little bit of price knockdown when they announced dilution, but to $7 and to have them wipe out the price like this before the reverse split and before the conversion, just unfucking believable.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, Tony.
Yeah.
Uncle Barney told me to shut my mouth.
Uncle Barney. Be nice to him, Grandpa. Things that I'm worried about. I'm worried about shorts being emboldened by the writers and actors strike. I'm worried that the short interest is still pretty low, so they might feel comfortable loading up more shorts, but I would actually like to see them get it over 20% again. I'd like to see the short interest over 20%. Because then if there ever is good news, it gets a lot more interesting. We're almost there. We're over 17%. Fly Free says, I hold for you. Where's our little sound effect?
Hold for me, I'll hold for you.
A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit.
Oh, Lordy. Juicy,
Jesus
what's up?
Christ.
What was that?
Jesus Christ.
Keep that change, you filthy animal.
Sparky, what's up? He says problem with Bed Bath.
Funny.
Problem with Bed Bath and Beyond, it was a terrible company. Yeah, Bed Bath and Beyond had declining revenues and they had all sorts of convertibles and just massive dilution. Same issue with Mullen, right? So let's hope
They had destructive CEOs.
the best case scenario for AMC is that they keep the dilution as small as possible, as infrequent as possible, and that the revenues and the box office keep growing, and that the writers and actors strike is resolved quickly. Like, I think you could also have a good news pop for all cinema stocks if that strike is resolved in a reasonable time frame. It's already going on way too long. But that would be some other bullish news.
Hey, Tony, I got something for Grandpa Barney right here.
He's a $7 million bull rider.
Dan says he's back in and holding till I double my money. What'd you get in at, Dan? NAMAC says no such thing as a good news pop for AMC. We'll find out in the morning, NAMAC, right? This should theoretically be a good news pop for AMC that the dilution's done. We will see if it is tomorrow or if they try and suppress it. MotoGP says, what was the short interest in its heyday? Oh, man. Let me pull up the 5-year chart if I can for AMC.
Trader can't keep his mouth shut. He's a plumber.
Ah, Grandpa.
Damn, Grandpa. Shorts. View all. So it looks like the high was back in December of 2020 at 68%, 67. When we squoze, or when we had the run up, whatever you want to call it, in May, the short interest was only around 20%. So,
well, we're not far.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see it over 20. Chrismo
Yeah,
says,
me too.
We done more Tony than we did then.
huh?
You did a
I'd
really
say I'd like to
mediocre
think we got
job,
more
friend.
in the squeeze now than we did back then. Just based on fundamentals of the stock.
Yeah, I mean, the fundamentals are far better now than they were back in 2021.
Agreed.
Lower.
So
I buy the dip, it dip more. I buy again, it dip even more. Don't make me come visit you, Donny.
I love it.
Philip Minch, what's up? He says, this dilution was rough but necessary. Hopefully, this is the worst price dilution we have to do. Knock on wood. Hey, if any of y'all are CPAs, I'm trying to cross-check some of the DD I've been working on this week. Send me a DM on Twitter.
Hey, who's this remind you of?
Time to make the donut.
Time to make the donuts. It reminds me of someone.
Yeehaw, yes. You got me feel like a cowgirl.
Dan says, get Pam on. I don't know where Pam is at tonight. She's probably at a movie. Anya says, how can people... Hey, you're gonna get me demonetized. Don't play music. Anya says, how can people join the Discord? I don't have a link for the Discord, Anya. but if you're a member of the channel, so if you're supporting the channel on YouTube or Patreon, Discord is free and it will sync up automatically. Willy Wonka, someone wants to hear Willy Wonka. Where is he?
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Yeah. Well, I hope we get something this week or next week. Let's hope. Let's hope. And for those of you that want to know, you can't see it. I've got some candles. You know, the little good luck candles that my wife bought me. And what day did I tell you I lit those candles, mediocre? It was Monday, I think, right?
I'm not sure. I don't remember what day it was.
I started carrying the monkey paw around about a week ago. And then I lit
we were talking about the monkey.
I have the monkey paw in my wallet pocket, my front pocket with my folded up bills. And that was another totem that my wife bought me. She's like, this is supposed to bring you good luck. I don't know what it is. It says lottery money attracts money. Yeah. Anyways, I call it a monkey paw. It's lucky hand root. And then that wasn't working last week, so she bought me a candle and I lit that. So I told Mediocre this afternoon, I was like, if we don't get fucking news this week, I'm gonna create a live stream called Trading with Voodoo, and we're gonna go full skulls and bones on this bitch. But you know,
break out the Ouija board.
Yeah, we didn't have to go there. The monkey paw and the candle worked.
Tony, I just want to announce that Doc Zeno and I are going to be selling toolboxes. In this toolbox, you can get your squeeze tool.
Squeeze tool still available, imported from Canada.
And I have the squeeze stretcher online as well.
I like that people pay attention. They remember. Don't ever forget, people.
VRO says, "Do you know Wrench Capital on YouTube?" I have heard of him, VRO. Yes. No rabbit ears in my pocket, Grandpa. I don't believe in rabbit ears. Let's just be clear. Rabbit ears is not. What's the nice way to say this? I don't believe in rabbit ears or rabbit feet. Monkey paw or nothing.
It's a trap.
Fucking rabbit ears.
We need to get a Bugs Bunny Mediocre. No, that's Porky Pig. What is Bugs
least
Bunny?
Get a rabbit's foot. A rabbit's foot's at least somewhat lucky.
PD Harris, what's up? Is there a toilet plunger in that toolbox? I think there is.
You stuck your face back out of your head.
Matthew says, Jesus is the way.
I buy the dip, it dip more. I buy again, it dip even more.
VRO says, do you have a gun collection? I have, I've got that one. And I've got my 12 gauge Winchester. And that is the extent of my collection, although I am trying to decide what kind of handgun to buy. Between the AR-15 and the 12 gauge, I think I have most of the bases covered, but sometimes it's fun just to go shoot a handgun. And I've shot many. Shot revolvers, I've shot 9mm.
365, baby.
Huh?
The P365.
P365, is that what you like?
I like that one.
Dirty Harry, bro. Gotta get one of them big old guns.
Doc Zeno, what's up? Did you see the news, Doc Zeno? I think you probably did.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Anya says she's not a gun advocate. No one's a gun advocate, Anya, until you're being robbed at gunpoint or someone's breaking in your house and you call the police. And like in Austin, they say, well, they don't say anything because no one answers the phone, Anya. We live in a defund the police city. In fact, they told you if there's a burglary at your house, just call 311. I'm not even joking. If you've been burglarized, don't even call the police. Just call 311. Give them the details. Maybe a detective will come out in a week or two. Probably not.
Crickets.
311 is the non-emergency number.
Oh!
Charlotte says guns are for killing. I mean, they're for hunting. They're for just going off and blowing some steam out at the gun range. Or they can be for self-defense. Yep. The two that I have, Charlotte, are not for hunting. They are for taking care of intruders.
Tony.
Yes, sir.
Tell them what voice channel we're in your Discord.
We are in the Wise Guys.
We were good fellas, wise guys.
Yeah. That is the channel that I hang out during the day. So for those of you that are in the Discord, if you are wanting to talk to me during the day, as long as I'm not working on some other stuff, I am in the Wise Guys channels from whenever I wake up till market close. VR's Trade said, why did you decide to get an AR-15? I ordered it when I thought that they were going to ban them. So I think I got that gun in 2020. Whenever we were going through that whole, hey, let's ban assault rifles, I was like, well, I'm going to get one before you do. And it's a blast. I mean, it's a fun gun to go out and shoot. Bam says, I joined Discord since your last live videos, so join from Discord and watch YouTube, or what do I do? So can you see, if you go in Discord and like if you want to come in and talk right now, like the guys that are talking, you can go up to the voice channels and just double click on Wise Guys. There's a whole bunch of people in there that are listening to the channel but also talking. And then if you have other questions during the day, I'm there during the day, or we have all the various chat rooms. If you don't want to talk on voice, you can just type in questions, comments, your own DD, whatever.
I just want to let you know.
Bush as fuck.
Can you play that again?
Oh, God.
Play that again. You're what?
Bullish as fuck.
Bullish as fuck.
Oh. Yes, you got me feel like a cowgirl.
Bam says, any logos next to my name? Depends on if you are supporting the channel. If you're supporting the channel through YouTube, you get the badge next to your name. If you signed up on Patreon, it's the same benefits as far as access to the Discord, but you don't get the badge because that is a YouTube feature.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
I'm sorry, Tony.
Says, is anyone playing Tesla on a daily basis? I told some folks in the Discord that I'm going to do an update on Tesla this weekend. So I had jumped in Tesla when it was around 101. When was that? Like at the beginning of this year? And I'm already out of the trade, but it has so much interesting volatility that I might get into swing trading it. So let me do an update on that this weekend, and then we can talk about that. As far as other people, I'll let them, if anybody's trading it, you guys can drop your comments in. Broke Ape says, did you see Netflix today? $22? I did not. Let me pull it up.
I didn't notice it either. Damn it.
Down 5%. Holy shit. I was told that streaming is the future. Let's see what the news was. Well, I see. Okay, 1 hour ago, there was news that director Richard Barton sells 500 shares. So what? 500 shares. What else? What? Netflix stock closes lower on weak guidance for operating margins. All right, well, that's a good video topic for tomorrow. I have some other blue chip videos that I'm working on for you guys. I have some more strategic how to pick stock videos with a system. A well-known system, but maybe you haven't heard of it. One I've been using for 30 years. We'll talk about that on some upcoming videos. And I want to start doing some intermittent coverage on the wheel strategy for those of you. Yes, keep on ringing that cash register, baby. Making me feel like a cowboy over here. So we got
Yeehaw, yes. You got me feel like a cowgirl.
we got some interesting stuff coming up. I thought that I was going to have more time to get videos out, but just when I thought that like getting out of AMC was going to give me a whole lot more free time, it got really interesting because the price dropped so fast that I was like, whoa.
Tony,
Now it's actually an interesting buy.
tell me you feel this way about AMC.
I'm not fucking leaving!
Stinking Rocket says they sold. Yes, they're done. They announced this afternoon that they are done with the 40 million.
Yeah, baby! Yeah!
Anya says, imagine if we put all our money in Tesla. Anya, immediately after you did that, Tesla would announce some bad news and tank. How do I know that?
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
Yeah, baby. It's always the way it seems to work there, right?
The challenge getting AMC back to $40 is that there's a lot of people who've averaged down and want out.
Who was that? CM? How you doing? The challenge is that the AMC, a lot of people are in it at $40 and want out. I think that's a fair statement. That's what we call overhead supply, right? So,
Good to hear you speak, CM.
What do you think about that, Mediocre? Do you think were it to push into the low 40s, we'd see some people just saying, fuck it, I'm out, and kind of hold up the price there?
Yeah, I think there's people that are trapped, yes, for sure.
Now, CM, do you mean $40 after the reverse or $400?
$40 right now.
Okay.
I think there's people $20 right now and out.
Wow, that's $2 pre-split.
Yep.
Gary says, am I out of AMC? No, I'm back in, amigo. $8 cost average. My lowest buy was at $7.18 on Friday, right as the extended hours closed, and then I bought some more Monday at the end of extended hours. I think it's $7.34, and then I have some other shares. But basically, I'm at about $8. So obviously, I'm with you guys that I hope it goes up. I'm loaded for it to go up, and I'm hoping it don't go down.
Can I steer a conversation a little bit?
Yeah, let me just answer Chris's question since it's on the same topic. Yes, I have December calls that I bought, Chris. When it was at around $7, I bought December $8 strike calls. So I have those also. Go ahead, Mediocre.
I'm just trying to get people to think. So my question to you is, how does holding a stock help buying pressure?
Holding a stock, if you're just buying and holding, you become an observer. Doesn't help anything. Do you want me to expand on that?
Yeah, I kind of do.
If the float is 200 million and 150 million shares are held by retail and they're diamond handing it, well, there's still 50 million that are actively trading. And whoever's trading that day sets the price. Anyone who's buying and holding is just an observer subject to the whims of whoever is buying or shorting that day. You have no power if you're holding. You're along for the ride. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense to me.
The float could be 200 million and there could only be 10 million trading. And they could churn through those 10 million 7 times in a day, and you could have share turnover. You could have volume of 70 million, the same 10 million shares, and they can still set the direction. Whoever comes to the table that day to set the direction sets it, and everybody that's holding is an observer to that price action. Now,
you know why I brought that up, right?
Yeah, because retail was sold a bill of goods that buying and holding does something. I'm thinking that's what you're thinking.
Well, yeah, if you want to move the price, you have to buy to move the price. So just holding the stock in itself is not going to help move the price up.
Right.
People need to purchase this price. So buying and selling a stock is what moves the price.
You're not advocating that anybody buy or sell. You're just saying in general, buying and holding was a kind of a misdirection, maybe with good intentions. You know, what I've often said to folks in the Discord or on the voice calls is that buy and hold applies to your blue chip stocks, right? You identify good entry. You know you're holding a profitable company that's going to be around for a decade or more. And you identify that good entry, and then you just hold it and you wait for the market to go up. That works well with blue chips. You cannot buy and hold a money-losing company. If you do, that's your choice, but you're going to eventually pay the penalty of fundamentals and financials catching up to you.
Because what happens to companies who don't make money, Tony? What do they have to do?
They have to dilute or they have to raise money through debt, both of which are going to obliterate you. Or they go bankrupt.
So,
if they choose neither, they go bankrupt. It's just a clock ticking. One of those 3 things is going to happen.
So the ticker symbol doesn't matter?
No.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure we're on the same page.
AMC is nothing special in that regard. And neither is GameStop. You have to fix the fundamentals. You have to get profitable. And you have to have a good balance sheet. And the AMC's balance sheet is an absolute train wreck. Chris says, in reality, stock should bump up tomorrow since the news of the dilution is over. That is the hope and the prayer here, Chris. We will find out tomorrow. I don't know if it'll be like, boom, tomorrow we gap up, or if it'll be a gradual increase, or if people breathe a sigh of relief and they try and buy and the shorts are like, fuck them, we're going to suppress it. I really don't know what's going to happen. All I can tell you is over the past several trading days, I've been accumulating shares and bought some call options when the AMC was near $7, hoping that this week we'd get an announcement that the dilution is done, and hoping that that drives some upward price action. And if that happens, I will be selling my shares for a profit. Make no mistake. I'm not doing the buy and hold thing, because as I said at the beginning of this live stream, I'm worried about Q4. I'm worried about the actors strike, and I am worried about more dilution. So I'm going to be looking for opportunities to buy low, sell high, rinse, and repeat. Even if I got to wait weeks in between. Steven, Super Steven in the house, what's up? He says, buy and hold ideology was an easy way for people to participate in the AMC movement without actually knowing how to trade. Yeah, and that did not work out well, Steven. Zelly Zen, what's up? Anya says, what can people with a high cost average do at this point? Anya, there's really only two or three things you can do. And that's a great question. You can just hold and pray. You can hold and try and find an exit at some price in a run up that you know maybe is not what you hoped to get. I'm just going to throw out a number, like let's say $20 right now. You could, hey, 20 is better than 8, right? You could go out into cash at $20 and then put that money to use elsewhere. So you can hold and pray. You could wait for some run up and go into cash. You could try and average down when it's cheap, but then you're putting more money into a company which is still losing money. So I don't know that I can in good faith advocate that strategy, but certainly people are doing it.
Tony, can't they just add a ton for a very short term?
You could. Like I had someone that asked me the other day, I think her cost average was around $40, and I think she had 700 shares. 40. And I did the math, whatever her numbers were. It was a very low amount of shares, but her cost average was so high. To get it down to close to today's price, she was going to, like, to get it down to the $8 range, she was going to need to buy 10,000 shares. That's a lot, Anya. Now, she could have bought just several thousand shares and, still made a big dent in it, but not got close to the current price. So how much do you want to commit to hope that it goes up? That's really up to you guys. Like, I can't tell you what to do.
I mean, you know what people could do, Tony? It's not going to help them, but it'll give them an idea. Anybody with a dollar cost average, just Google, and that it's called average down calculator.
Average down calculator. Okay.
Yep. Enter your position into that, and then it gives you on the other side. It gives you how much you could buy, and then it'll tell you what your dollar cost average is. So for anybody who's interested in looking at if they average down what they would get before they enter the position, they could figure it out ahead of time.
The other thing you could do, is utilize some of the wheel strategy. And if you're holding a considerable amount of shares, you could be selling call options against that. That will be immediate money in your pocket, but you have to pick your strike price carefully.
Another thing I can do is just open another account and start fresh and let the other one ride.
How does that help you, Grandpa?
Well, because you're going to make the money on the new count, starting out with a low number.
Yeah, I mean, but you could do that in the same account. You just have to pay attention to your tax lots when you sell them, right?
Well,
if you don't want to keep up with that, yeah, you could open a different account at a different broker.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want, like, I have a margin account and I have a cash account on Weevil, so I just taxed the money, so I just opened up started buying in the cash account that I didn't have anything in. So, and I picked up, $8 shares. So because I have so many in my other account, it's not going to it's not going to make a dent. It's not going to do anything. So
Larry says fundamentals mean nothing in a stock bubble. That's what we were in 2021, right, Larry? No one was looking at fundamentals in 2021. It literally didn't matter because the price was just running, and enthusiasm was high. And then we got our legs chopped out from under us in around Thanksgiving 2021 with the fears of recession and the interest rate hikes. And then it started to matter. The whole game changed. Tamir says, I learned a ton in this process. That's, You know, if nothing else, even if you get out of this position at a loss, if you can take the learnings that you got and apply them to future trades, that still is something meaningful. I get it. It's a very painful lesson for some people.
Tony, can you give an example of when you buy those calls, those covered calls, like how you pick the strike price you're selling?
So selling, we're talking about selling covered calls. So if you have right now 1,000 shares, you could sell 10 covered calls. And it's a bit of an art to pick the strike price, because you got to think of two things. You got to look at the chart and say, what do I reasonably think that it could run up to? Like I sold covered calls on my position for 30 days out, October 13th, and I picked a $15 strike because I don't think it will go over $15. Okay, in 30 days. But if it did go over $15, since my cost basis now is $8, I would essentially almost double my money. Plus, because the shares would be taken away from me, they'd be exercised. I know I could cover the calls. We're not talking about, I'm not going to close out the calls. I'll let my shares go. So they will pay me $15 for every share. Plus I get to keep the option premium, the income that I made today selling those calls. So that's one thing. If your cost basis is low, you could just say, where do I think it's going to run up to? Am I willing to sell at that price? So for me, that was $15. For someone that's stuck right now with a cost basis of 40, now you have a different bit of analysis to do. Because let's say you pick a $20 strike. If it runs up over $20 and your shares get taken away from you, you're going to lose half your position monetarily, right? You'll lose all your shares, and you'll be out of the trade, and you'll get $20 a share. And if it ran up to 25 or 30, you're gonna have to be okay with that. Or, and this is getting complicated, or you could go in, and if you sold covered calls and you see it running, you could go in and buy those calls back. It basically closes out your call position. It's like canceling each other. And but that's going to cost you. Like, you made money selling the covered calls. If the price starts running, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you a fair amount to buy those calls back. So that's why the decision, I'd say pick a strike that you're okay getting out of your trade at.
So Tony, I want to talk about something else. So just for the sake of argument, we're just talking whatever. Let's say you have a $40 cost average, right? It's not a good idea to sell an option for $15 because whatever. So instead of selling that call option, what you could do instead is buy a leap option, which is a long dated call option, and then you can sell weekly call options against that position. And by doing so, you're going to take in weekly money.
Are you talking about buying enough leaps to cover your entire position?
Yes.
So if you had 1,000 shares right now, you'd need to buy 10 leaps for like 18 months out?
Correct. And then sell call options against them, and that'll help you drive down your dollar cost average.
And what strike price would you be targeting for the leaps? The same one that you're selling the call options at? Hello? Did we lose him?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
My internet. Sorry about that. What I said was, if you could pick any strike you want to, it could be $7, $6, $5. You could go all the way down to 50 cents, whatever you're willing to pay, right?
Why would you buy? Why would you buy in the money leaps?
Okay, so the reason why you want to buy an in the money leap is if you got exercised on, right? You're going to have to give up your shares at say $40, right, to cover that.
We keep on losing your internet.
Sorry about that. So let me see if I can switch it real quick. 1 second.
All right. CJ, the first part of the answer that I gave you, did that make sense? There's no one answer to pick your strike price. Depends on your cost average for the shares that you're holding.
Is this better?
I don't know. Try it.
All right. So the reason why you want to pick a in the money call option, leap option, is to protect your position at a higher cost. Because if you do get exercised on, you're gonna lose those shares that get exercised on, but then you're gonna exercise your leap options and repeat the process. And by doing so, it's gonna lower your dollar cost average over time. You got to keep track of it.
All right. Maybe we can walk through the math and do a video for that for some folks in the Discord.
Yeah. There's a lot involved, but there's strategies that you could do to repair positions. That is true.
Angelina, have a good night. Thank you. I saw you in here. Sorry I didn't say hi earlier. We're going to go 9 more minutes. I said an hour ago we were going to wrap it up an hour ago. Let's go 9 more minutes and end this at 2 hours. Other questions? Discord, YouTube. Rich, you're being quiet tonight. You got anything to add? Gorilla Gardener?
No questions here.
Max?
Yeah, no questions, man.
How you feeling about tomorrow? What do you think?
I'm optimistic for a small little run up, but I'm not going to get my hopes up too high because I'm not going to let that happen. Calm, cool, and collected.
Calm, cool, collected. Richie says, I'm good. Let's make some money. All right. Woodstock says, I wish I got out when you did. I know. I wish everybody could have avoided that rundown, but unfortunately, even in my own Discord, when we were having daily conversations about it, people saw the math, people heard all the explanations, and they still, even Massalorian, I talked with him about this a long time ago. He's like, no, I gotta stay. I still believe in the MOAS. And, that's everybody's individual decision. I had to take a chance based on following my own DD that I was going to be correct. It could have worked out a different way. Larry says, say hi to your wife. Thank you, Larry. We went out and had a margarita tonight. I've been trying to get her to go out and get some Mexican food and have a margarita with me after work, after she gets off work, for about 2 months. And tonight she was ready to go. So she is already in margarita la la land. One drink. She was already tired when we went to the restaurant. That was her little nightcap. Philip says, how optimistic would you be if the strike ends within a month? I think it'd be extremely bullish for the entire cinema industry if the strike ends within a month. The longer the strike goes on, the worse it is going to be for this stock.
Don't make me come visit you, Donnie.
I hate to say that, but we've been talking about the strike for many months now, it feels like. And I'm not going to minimize to you guys how potentially bad this could be for Q4 and Q1. I'm very concerned about it. And I think part of the price action that you're seeing is not just dilution, but these fears of Q4 and Q1 being bad. And so they don't mind shorting it. I think if you get the actors and writers strike resolved, some of those shorts get out of the play. Like, well, we made our money. That gig's up. Let's see what else happens next. MotoGP says the MOAS
interesting morning tomorrow.
Was 72. Yes, tomorrow is going to be interesting. I'm going to be up early doors for any of y'all in the Discord. I'll be in Wise Guys, this voice chat, as soon as I wake up.
I feel like whatever we expect, the opposite will happen. That's how it works.
That's my concern. Like, I don't want to, I'm inside, I'm very optimistic for tomorrow and the rest of this week, but I'm trying to temper that by not getting people overly hyped, because the moment that I do that, what's going to happen? The exact opposite is going to happen. So we're going to go to bed. We're going to wish good things, get a good night's sleep. And then we wake up and we deal with whatever the rest of this week brings. And I hope for everybody that it brings you whatever it is that you're hoping for. And if it doesn't, you know, we will still be planning and trading and positioning to optimize whatever happens in the Discord. I will not be regularly covering AMC because there's just too many people that don't want to hear financial take on the company. I should not, like I said, I should not.
Steven's comment.
I should not be dealing with death threats for covering balance sheets. That's just dumb.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Steven says, don't underestimate the king of dilution. Shorts will bend the knee. So you think that Adam Aaron diluting is going to cause the shorts to bend the knee, huh?
He's a fucking Canadian.
Out to the master.
But he is right. Adam Aaron is the undefeated dilution king.
No, he's not. David Mishery Mullen.
No, you're right.
That dude is the king
Mullen,
of dilution.
got him beat.
That dude is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world.
That is true.
He's diluted one. He's reverse split 1 for 250. No, sorry. Yeah, I think it's something like that. 1 for 250, and then with the reverse splits combined. And if I pulled up the dilution chart on Mullen, it'd blow your mind. Let me see if I can pull up dilution tracker here. Let's end the night with a good laugh. And these people think that this Mullen is going to $100 before it gets knocked down to the pink sheets. Like, what the fuck are y'all smoking? All right, let me pull this chart down here. This was Mullen in December, and here it is now. 7.78 million. You got to factor out all the reverse splits. And now it's at 184 million mediocre. That's 20x, over 20x dilution plus 2 reverse splits.
Drop the bomb on me, baby.
Keep that change, you filthy animal.
You know what we call that, mediocre?
It is called the rope-a-dope. The rope-a-dope.
Yeah.
I can't.
There's no squeeze coming on Mullen. Sorry, kids.
That's the Oppenheimer right there.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
MotoGP says, what about the application for not being delisted? So they have to go in front of the hearing board with NASDAQ and plead their case. And I know there's a lot of people that think that because they filed a lawsuit that they're going to have some sway with the NASDAQ hearing board and not be kicked down to the pink sheets. I think they're going to be laughed out of the room, honestly. And that lawsuit, even if it has merit, which it might, and I hope it does, and I hope they get to the bottom and they crack this case wide open for all of us, because we need one case of the 30 companies that have hired Share Intel and West Christian that I'm tracking for the last year. We need one of them to find something and get it out in the public domain. But so far, none of them have put anything meaningful out there as far as discovery that we can see. And this lawsuit with Mullen is going to take years. And I don't think, the hearing with NASDAQ for Mullen, unfortunately, is going to be over in a matter of weeks. And they're not going to have enough, I don't think, from the lawsuit to sway the board's mind. But I could be wrong. And if I am, we'll address that at that time. It's very, very rare that the board gives any company a second chance. The best chance they have would be to get above $1 before that hearing and stay there. That would be somewhat meaningful. And they're at 50 cents. Kevin says, had anybody seen Polestar? Who makes it? The company is called Polestar. The ticker is PSNY. I have 1 or 2 videos on Polestar. Go check them out on the channel. I went and visited. We have a dealership here in Austin. I went and looked at the cars in person. They seem like a pretty nice car. Sure is a pretty car, as we like to say. But like all of the EV companies, they are struggling with getting enough production numbers to turn a profit. And that's going to be the story for many of these companies is, can they get enough volume of production to outrun dilution and bankruptcy? So we'll see. I'll provide some occasional ongoing coverage of Polestar, and we're going to ramp up the Lucid and Rivian coverage also. Polestar PSNY, if I'm not mistaken. Like Polestar New York, but I forget what NY stands for. Maybe probably is New York Stock Exchange. How about NVIDIA or AMD? I want to do a video on NVIDIA, but let's wait and talk about it when I have a chance to do a deeper dive, because I've obviously been watching the stock action in NVIDIA, but can't really comment on them other than what you see on the chart, because I haven't looked through their financial statements. Yeah, Charlotte says, held Lucid for 3 years, not good. None of them are good. They're all losing money. If you want a money-making EV play, Tesla is about it. Everything else is a hope and a dream. Doesn't mean that they can't eventually get there, but right now you're going to lose money in all these companies. Steven says, can you talk about the ARM IPO? Steven, are you trying to trap me here? Steven and I have talked about the ARM IPO. I'm just going to say this, guys. That is a company that was taken private. Private equity owns it, and now they want their money. And they're doing.
Steven should get out here and talk, Tony. That's what I think.
Huh?
Steven should come have conversations.
Yeah, Steven, come debate it with me, Steven. Teddy Zane, someone who really believes in ARM. Let's have a chat. Let's have a chat. Here's what I see in the prospectus. It's owned by private. Yes. It's owned by private equity. They want their money, and they are going to offer you 10% of the float in an IPO. What does that mean? That means they're going to control 90% of the rest of the shares. So is that real? Is that what you want to own? Go ahead.
I thought the rule of thumb was don't buy an IPO for the first 3 days.
Well, that's been our painful lesson also over the last 3 years, Anya. The ARM IPO reminds me. I have a feeling it's going to look like the Coinbase IPO. You're going to see a very quick big run up, and then everybody get rug pulled.
I said that earlier too, Tony. Just saying, I said that.
Yeah.
That's my guess. What is going to happen with ARM? It's going to come out really high, and then everybody's going to get obliterated. I have no way. What is my source? I made it up. That's just a gut feeling. I wish all of you luck that are playing it. I hope everybody makes a lot of money in that play, but I'm not planning to participate in it.
Those expensive ones they're kind of scary, man.
Yeah.
Steven, don't be sorry. Just come join us. Don't hide behind your text all the time.
He says he has some people at his house. All right. All right, guys. It is 2 hours complete on this live stream, and we got to be up early and watch all the fun. I'll tell you what. If it runs through $40 tomorrow, which I don't think it will, I'll come on live during the day. How about that? And we'll do a shot together. But I'm expecting a small price increase. I'd be happy with a large price increase.
I think you should come on at $15.
Tony, if it runs to $40, I'll come on here during the day and do a shot with you.
All right. Let's do
I'll do it at
15. Let's do a shirtless shot at $40 mediocre on camera. On camera. Huh?
On camera tomorrow.
On camera
we'll
tomorrow.
Be all obliterated, drunk at $40.
Yeah. It is funny that we're talking about $40 being like some astronomical price when we were literally just there 2 weeks ago. Anyways, I hope that it works out very good for everybody. As I said, if you're just tuning in, I am in the play with a cost basis around $8. I have shares and I have call options. And I also sold call options on my position at $15 strike. So you kind of see where I'm headed. But even if it runs up over 15 and my shares get sold, that's cool because I still have the other call options that don't expire till December that I bought. So I got all my bases covered unless the price tanks, and then we'll all cry together. Sound good?
And we'll be drinking again.
And we'll be drinking again and plotting the next plan of action.
Don't say
yeah, baby. Yeah.
Ice Cube says $4 coming. I hope. Yeah, I mean anything could happen, right? My biggest fear of buying between 7 and 8 was that it was going to 5.
I buy the dip, it dip more. I buy again, it dip even more. Don't make me come visit you, Donnie.
Gotcha.
So
man.
you're telling me there's a chance?
Don't make me come get you, Tony.
Hold for me, I'll hold for you.
All right, whatever y'all do, don't fucking play a song. Don't hit any of those that play music, please. I don't want to get demonetized.
You got it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Thank you very much. We appreciate you. I've missed you guys. I have not gone anywhere. I'm in the Discord every damn day, more hours than you could even dream about. And as I said at the beginning of this live stream, I am working on some very important due diligence that no one is talking about. And I can't talk about it yet because I'm trying to disprove something. And I hope that I can. But if I can't disprove it, and if it ends up being a concern for you and for us that are shareholders over the next 30 or 90 days, I will come back and talk with you. So it's nothing that I'm worried about this week. And I need a few more days to do the type of DD that I do. So bear with me. I hadn't gone anywhere. Still working hard. And I wish everybody good luck tomorrow. Thank you.
So you wanna go to war with me?